we already have all the controls and have filled in all the new employees' data. So now we just need to capture this data and send it to the server, for example, to save it to the database. So please switch to the forms view, and now we need to add two more things to this form. First, we need to add an event binding for onSubmit, and we want the save method to be called when the form is submitted, i.e. when the save button is clicked. We will create this save method in C# code. Now we don't have any errors. Great. Additionally, we will add a button at the bottom, which will allow us to save the data when clicked. So, a label save and standard bootstrap classes, btn, btn primary, and maybe btn lg. Great. Now we have a button and a binding to the method that will be called when the save button is clicked. In a typical scenario, this is where we would have some logic to save the data entered in the form to the database. Here, we have all the data saved in the employee field, i.e. our employee. So, at this point, this field should already be filled. In the upcoming lessons, this is exactly what we'll be doing, saving the data to the database. However, for now, we'll just display the data in a pop-up. We might use our service, Toaster, to show a notification about the saved employee. In a normal scenario, we would save this to the database, and that's how we'll proceed in the following modules. But here, I'll just show you that the data is correctly filled in this place. So, we'll use our service. I'll inject it into our class. Toaster, service, inject. Now, await. Toaster, service, show, info, message, data has been saved, and we can display the data here as well. But first, we need to serialize it to quickly display it as a string. So, let's go to NuGet packages and install the Newton soft JSON package. Install. Okay, so now var JSON equals JSON, convert, serialize, object, employee. And we will display this JSON in our notification. Great, and after saving the data, we will want to clear the form. So we will reinitialize it and, just like we did at the beginning, set the employment date to date time. Now, so at the start, we have some logic here. This is what we want to do with the data. Normally, we would save it to the database. However, in this lesson, we will just display it as a notification at the top right using the Toaster service. Then we clear our form and allow for entering new data for a new employee. So now we run the application. As you can see, the save button has appeared. So we fill in some data. Jan Kowalski, notes, salary, 5,000, position, warehouse worker, and employment date. And now if I save, notice that first, on the right side, we have a notification that the data has been saved. And here we have the information about the new employee. So Jan Kowalski, notes, employment date is a new employee, salary, and the ID of the selected position. Besides that, our form has been cleared and we have the ability to enter data for a new employee. However, we have one problem. If we don't enter any data, for example, for an employee, we can still click the save button and actually save this data and send it to the server, even though, for example, the name is null, notes are null, the position is not selected, and the salary is 0. So this data is not entirely correct. Therefore, we should not add any data to the application in this way, as it is bad practice. We need to fix this by adding validation, which we will cover in the next lesson.